Hey, welcome to All in One, ladies and gentlemen. This is the podcast where we keep it real, we keep it 100. And tonight, that's what it's all about. We're going to keep it 1,000 on you tonight. This particular segment is called Said What I Said. So let's get to saying what we got to say. Arya, what you got to say? What's on your mind? Let's talk about it. Not beat my chest like King Kong. Oh.
I think I want to start off by saying, there's something to be said about saying what you're saying and standing on business. I mean, I think I've gotten to a point where like I've always like said like this is what I want and this is what I want to do, and I haven't really had those boundaries up, to make sure that, I'm actually standing on business. I fold like all the time. I just fold. I'm like, oh, well, maybe, but you know what? I'm in a new season and I mean the things that I said, and it's so funny to see the outcome of it. People get mad. People get real mad. What I'm starting to see. But you know what? I think that's good because when people don't like that you're changing the way that you used to be, that just tells you who is meant to be in your life and who is not. And that is not supposed to be in my life, because I do understand also that there's people that's in your life for a season, and people don't need to be in your life forever. Some people are probably going to be in your life forever, but hey, you never know. And it's okay if they don't need to be in your life forever. Saying what I said and not just did that sound good enough, because I want people to understand that like my boundaries are my boundaries and now I am enforcing them. And again, like people have really been showing their true colors with me enforcing my boundaries. They're like, who in the world is this person?
Right.
I don't know them. And now they're changing and they see it as uh a negative, but really it's showing me that it was never I was appeasing to them because I was what they needed. And now that I'm not giving them what they need, now they're like, why are you being this way? What's wrong with you? Why are you acting crazy? Or like you're not being responsible, or you're not being here for me, and blah blah blah. And it's like, is it that I'm not being there for you, or are you just trying to be spoiled? Because you used to me saying yes. You're used to me saying I'm gonna be there. I legitimately had a girlfriend come over to my house, and we were just talking. She was like, for the past few years, like I've known her for about 4 years. She's like, that I've known you. She's like, one thing I've noticed about you is you do too much. She was like, you are always the yes girl. Like you say yes when you're tired. You literally go to every function. You go to every event. You're always supportive. You're always doing everything for everybody. And she's like, people are like upset now because you said no one time and they're not used to that. And so she was like, she was like, what you need to do, even if you want to do something, just say no, don't do it. And she said, something that really stood out to me that she actually heard from her therapist. And she said that her therapist told her that even if you feel like you do have an excuse, don't give the excuse, because then you're telling that person that you're feeling bad and that you're guilty and that it is your fault that you're not actually showing up. And I never thought about it like that, because when there are times, the only time that usually say no to someone is if I am like literally sick, like sick on my deathbed kind of thing. And I always say like, oh man, I can't do it. I'm running a fever. I don't feel good. I've been, laying in bed all day. And that's me projecting this guilt, like it's my fault that I'm not going, when the issue is just I can't go. That's really the main thing. And it doesn't matter if you even can or cannot go. It's the fact that you're not going to go, or you're not going to support, or you're not going to move in the way that they want you to move. So I am practicing that. And now I'm just like, you know what? If I can't go or if I don't want to go, doesn't even matter. Like I'm just going to say no, and that's just going to be it, because I don't want to I don't want to be projecting this guilt if there is no real guilt. Like it's not, I'm not obligated, Now, if I, of course, purchase a ticket for something, that's a little different. It's like, yeah, you purchase a ticket. Do you really want to waste money, because you've already pre-purchased something? But if I have no real commitment to something and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds fine. I think I can make that. If I change my mind the day of, the hour of, the minute of, then that's just it. It is what it is. I don't know. I just feel like the way that I'm positioning myself now is putting me in a place where like now the only person that can make me feel guilty about something is me. I think that's important.
Couldn't agree with you more. Absolutely could not agree with you more. As far as look, as far as the no, no is a complete sentence. I don't owe you anything past that. Hey, are you going to? No. Well, why not? Just look at them like they fucking crazy and walk off. Cause I don't fucking want that. I don't owe you no answer. I owe nobody an answer for how I move, what I do, who I hang with. None of that. So for me, it's like when it comes down to I said what I said and I stand on business. When I say something to you, you might want to take heed to it because I don't thought this shit through. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just coming out the side of my neck and I'm not just saying something just to be saying it. Trust and believe. If especially if it's something that's requires a long-term plan. I'm gonna just leave it at that, right? Another thing is you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You can't depend on anybody, right? But
Right.
you can definitely depend on self all day, every day. You can depend on yourself. If there's one person that I know that I'm not gonna let down ever again, because I
Mhm.
have to say that, because I have let myself down in the past, but I would never do it again.
Right.
Like just like you, it's like I refuse to put anyone's else happiness above my own. So with that being said, y'all got a couple statements that I'm gonna speak on today. I'm going to speak on because it's a couple things, right? First thing is like that happy wife, happy life bullshit that some women be saying, right? In the essence, you are literally telling me if I am not happy, you cannot be happy.
Mhm.
That's exactly what you're saying. Since when did my happiness get hinged on your happiness? We may not like the same things. That don't mean just because you want to do it and we're married, don't mean I got to do it either.
Right.
I mean, as a partner, I would probably try to experience that thing with you. But if I
Right.
tried it that one time and I don't like it, I don't give a fuck how many other times you want to go back. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't owe you that. I mean, yes, you are my wife, you are my spouse, whatever the case, but I don't owe you my unhappiness. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I own that belongs to me. And if I decide that I want to be happy, then even if that means that in this particular moment in time, at this particular second, I can do something different than what you do. It's
Mhm.
okay. We are individuals. That's just one thing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of people buy into that. And it was like a whole lot of things me and a couple of my friends were talking about. It's like all these cliches, I'm burning through them today. Right. So that whole blood is thicker than water bullshit. I was talking
Mhm.
about that too. Blood makes you related. Doesn't necessarily make you family, you know? Because again, they're strangers or people that you known for a very short period of time that go harder for you to make sure that you're okay than some of your own family members. So if blood is so thicker than water, why is it that it's only thick as water whenever you need me? But when I'm over here struggling, I don't see you, I don't hear from you, I don't do none of that.
Right.
So I treat everybody in the same manner in which they treat me. You know what I'm saying? As far as dating goes, it's like I'm gonna save this one, but I'm gonna put a pin in it. But as far as treating people a certain way, treat me like a queen, treat me like this, treat me like that. I treat people in the manner in which you show me you want to be treated. If you acting like a queen, I'll treat you like a queen. If you acting like a, I'm gonna treat you like that too. So drop a pin right here. We're gonna flip back over. Holler back at me.
Yeah, I mean, sticking to like relationships and boundaries. I mean, gosh, I even look at my, situation myself where I'm like, for the first time in a long, told my ex like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I've been playing this spittle like back and forth for years. I'm like, oh, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And then next thing you know, they're like, oh, I'm working on this and I'm doing better and I'm sorry and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden now they're just like, oh, okay, I'm going to be better. And then they are better for how long? a day, maybe a month if I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, if they make it that long. And then that ends up being like that thing that's like enough for me to keep it moving until they obviously do something else. And then I'm just like, ugh, I'm not doing this anymore. Why am I this? I need consistency, but then I accept inconsistency. So it's just like I'm going back and forth with the same unsettlement that I started off with when all I had to do was hold on to my boundaries, and then I wouldn't be going through the stuff that I was going through. Knowing that about me, obviously, the last time, and it's so funny because people say you're you won't be done completely until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And unfortunately, that was my story. Being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, you know what? No, not doing this anymore. This is my boundary. This is what I'm doing. I'm not allowing you to invade my space anymore. And now that I've done that and I've literally been like ignoring all of the BS and the drama and all of that stuff that they've been trying to put on me, it's like who are you? Like I don't even know who you are. Like, and now they're trying to like figure out how to navigate because they're not used to that type of behavior from me. And I have to say, man, it's been so freeing to get away from that. And it's just been like I've been able to, really like exhale. I've been waiting to exhale. No pun intended. But it's I know.
Shoot.
Yeah, it's like it's so crazy because even recently, this funny story. Recently, they reached out to me, called me back to back 3 times. Called me back to back 3 times. I'm like, are they? Oh, I can't use that word. I'm sorry. My mom said, let me stop. Person is special. Very special because the fact that you felt comfortable to contact me, not even just the first time, but a second time, and then a third time, and you're waiting on me to respond to you why, and then sending me text messages, and like, just like, what can we talk sometime about? What? Nothing. We have nothing to discuss. We have nothing to talk about until our day comes. That's what we can talk about. We don't have anything else to talk about outside of that. And like honestly, it's like it's funny because I'm just like I'm just vibing. I'm just chilling. I don't have to respond. I can just sit back and just be like, let them soak in the fact that they like, why didn't they answer my phone call? Why aren't they responding to my text message? Well, dude, I mean, you you asked for this bed, you have to lie in it, unfortunately.
Man, fuck your entitlements. Let me say
Yo,
it. I said what I said.
I said what I said. This is my zone right here. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then it's just another thing, like so much about like um or I've been learning. I'm not all the way there yet, but I'm learning about feminine and masculine like energy and being in your feminine and being in your masculine and like realizing like even just looking at like my parents or just like other successful relationships. It's like you have these different roles that you're supposed to have in a relationship, and I'm starting to really understand that how much I've been distorted from being in my feminine because of having to be in the masculine throughout an entire like decade of relationship. Because I did it the first time and then I did it the second time. And I'm just like, if I'm growing from, age of 18 all the way to, mid 30s, being in my masculine, then how do I even know that I'm not in my feminine until I know? Because I literally just was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is how I'm supposed to live, and I'm supposed to take care of this, and I'm supposed to make sure, bills are paid and house is done, and I'm supposed to make sure that like all these things are happening where I now have taken away from my space of feminine. Like I can't feel protected or I can't feel safe because I have to provide that for myself, you know? I have to provide everything for myself. And so I don't really want to say it's like me having like a complete masculine role, but in a sense, that's kind of like what I've learned from my relationships. I don't want to do it anymore. I just don't want to do it anymore.
Let's pivot right here. Let's pivot right here because this right
Okay.
here is actually a great segment and a great conversation, right? So let's talk about it. What
Okay.
are masculine roles and what are feminine roles when it comes down to the household and being inside the house? Stand on your business right here. What is it that you feel like you should not have to do as a woman?
I feel like I should not have to be the sole protector of my home. I feel like I should have a sense of protection as well. I feel like my my feminine role is like, being able to nurture, being able to have some sort of rest and not having to be able to be like bam, 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 bam all the time. Because I can't really, I mean, granted, I don't have children, but like just because I don't have children doesn't mean that I can't understand nurture. I know caring for someone or even something. Heck, I have all these animals, that I have to care for and nurture, or they will starve to death. Probably eat me because they don't let me.
Depends on how many days.
Right, exactly. To just relax to a point that I know how to be soft and not have to feel like I have to be strong and like dominant, in all kinds of like situations. I don't have a moment where I can just be like, oh, I can breathe, and even if I don't jump immediately into something to like protect myself, someone else, like my partner, would be able to help me do that. I find myself sometimes like having, I call it squirrel moments. And so sometimes I'll just be out, and then like I have a squirrel moment and I'm like, oh, look at that. Like, and that's me really like getting into my rest, my moment of rest. But then it puts me in a moment of danger because I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. Having a partner that is more aware of certain things like that, I feel like keeps me in my feminine energy. But I mean, I'm definitely not the type of woman that would be like what you said, like happy wife, happy life. Like I think that's ignorant. That's just my opinion. Don't beat me up, people.
Yeah,
But
what I said.
that is my opinion. Like, I really do feel like there's some sort of disconnect when you feel like you have to be, or your wife has to be happy in order for you to be happy. Because, like you were saying, like, what if there's something that I need, outside of this, what you're providing that I can provide myself? Or what if there's like, for example, I mean, this is like a silly example, but like, what if I'm a gamer, right? And I'm like, I love games. I like to play my games. Whatever. It makes me happy. And I say, hey, you want to play games with me? You play games. And you're like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. This is boring. I don't like this, whatever. It's like, okay, well, maybe if there's another game that we can figure out that we like together, we can try that. But if you don't like a game, then okay, it's not a big deal. This is the area where we know that we don't have a common ground on, but we may have common ground on other areas. We may both like nature and like going camping and like, we may both like serving and, doing community service, or we may both like, there's other things to my point, and it doesn't have to just be a one-way track. Like we have to both be aligned on everything in order for us to be happy, And again, you are in charge of your own happiness. So if you are lacking happiness, then that's your responsibility, I think, to figure out what it is that makes you happy and stand on that. That goes along with boundaries too.
Agree. And here's the thing, though. I look at it like this right here, especially when couples that's been together for a very long time, especially if it's a marriage. They probably got married young, probably had kids together young, and they felt like they was just there with each other. Might not have had nothing in common. And the older the kids get, the more you realize, I don't really like your ass. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's like, why am I still here? I don't like you. We ain't got nothing in common. A lot of people are afraid to say that.
Yeah.
So I said it for you. Send them this video and make sure to share. It's like
Comment.
it's just that simple, right? So
Yeah.
it's like a lot of times what I seen, we get into this power struggle
Yeah.
around the house. Cause it's like, well, it doesn't matter for me. It can be a relationship, it can be family, it can be friends.
Mhm.
It's always the same thing. And it's like I'll say something and then they look at me like I'm crazy because I said something that nobody else has either thought of or nobody else can it's comprehending at this particular moment in time. It's not making sense because you don't see the big picture. You only see some people can't see past their damn nose. Let's just say how it is, right?
Right.
Some people cannot see any farther than this right here. And then it's like, but then you got other people who can actually strategically see what that's not gonna go well for you. I
Mhm.
wouldn't do that if I was you.
See?
That's not just because I'm trying to project a fear onto you, but I'm also give you the reason why I said that. You
Right.
might want to think about this, and this, because after this happened, you're gonna have to look at one of these two things. So it's like, hey, look. So anyway, so going forward, it's like, so then you got this power struggle because you always think you're right. You always think you're smarter than everybody else. So then there comes this back and forth tensions that I gotta put you in your place. Do you really? Or
Yeah.
can you just accept the fact that what I said wasn't wrong? And even if you don't accept it as being true, you'll find out eventually. But even if you don't accept it as being true, that you have an option to go in the opposite direction. You don't have to take the advice. I'm not telling you you got to do it. I'm just saying if I was you, this is what I'll be looking at. So it's that power struggle between the household. And then it's like, what if the woman makes more money than the man? Then what? Who really has, I don't even want to call it authority or control in the house, but it's like, I'm just going to say it. Women, money does not replace a man. It doesn't. It doesn't. Yes, it does make you independent, but there are certain things that physically you're not capable of doing. It's being real. Not trying to rage bait anybody or anything of that nature. It's just the fact that as a man, I realize there are certain things that I cannot do that a woman is much more suitable at doing than I am. I can understand that I can learn certain things from my partner, but I can't do everything that you do. Just
Right.
like I know that you can't do everything that I can do.
There's definitely a difference. I feel like sometimes a lot of women are forced into that masculine energy. Like I was speaking about before, like I felt like for me, I was forced into it, saying like I want to be soft. I want to feel like I'm in my feminine energy. I want to feel at peace, but then I'm hit with all these crazy situations. I have to lead because my partner doesn't know how to lead. I have to provide because my partner doesn't know how to carry everything. So my partner doesn't know how to carry everything. And so it's almost like you're placed into this, like, it's sort of a masculine, I would say, role, but it's also like survival role. Because it's like you're forced into a position where you have to actually do what it takes to survive because your partner is not in his masculine to allow that to even happen. Like, and some men, unfortunately, they literally have no desire to do it. They have zero desire to do it. And even for a lot of women that make a lot of money, I have literally heard men say, and I've read little prompts and stuff where men would be like, well, if my partner, is making all this money, then I don't have to. Like, it's so crazy. And it's like, I don't know. I really feel the generations that are like mine going down, like, are literally losing what it means to even have, or not even just have, but be in that masculine role. Because I look at my father and I look at my uncles, and like I look at the men in that area, and I almost feel like they're the last of the real masculine men. And it's unfortunate because now you have these men who are like, well, I don't have to be, the masculine, which means they're teaching their children they don't have to be in the masculine. And then it's just gonna keep the trickle, down effect, and it just makes more, dare I say, feminine men.
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree. I'm just saying because it's like I was trying to find a story. That's what I was just looking up. So
Hmm.
there was this woman. I want to say she was in Chicago. Don't hold me to it, but basically, I saw the story on TikTok where her son was at some park and basically getting manhandled or whatever the case. He calls mom. Mom's comes down to the park and mom's unloads the whole things out. Right. Moms get arrested. No bond. No bond for something that your child is involved in. You just threw your whole life away for that very male that we just sit up here and talked about. So then the question becomes, who's really to blame for it? Is it the father for not being there? Or is it the mother who is there and coddling and not allowing them, not making them get off their ass and do something? You know, I get it. I was a gamer when I was young. I haven't played in a while. I can still play Call of Duty though. I still get on Call of Duty. But it's like if you're not making them do these things, I'm watching these videos and these punk ass males, excuse my language, but not really. I said what I fucking said. Fuck it. These punk ass males on this damn letting these women pump gas. They letting these women change tires. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. They sitting on the passenger side. Okay, cool. It's her car. I get that. I seen one video where this woman was crashing the fuck out because this dude was sitting on the passenger side. She like, you need to get over here and pump my gas. And he's like, I ain't finna pump nothing. Like, for real? You riding with her? Clearly she taking care of you. She also stated that he didn't have no job. Bro, what's wrong with y'all?
A scrub is a guy who thinks he's fine, also known as a buster.
Like, what the fuck, bro? What the whole man, what is really going on to the point where men ain't being men no more?
It's really weird because I feel like too that like a lot of women I feel like it's a lot of women feel like they in the matter because of like dating games sucks. It is not that many people out there. It's really low right now. It's really low. And so it's like you end up with these people who just really are like, well, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. It is low, the dating pool. I think we what was that we said? Pissed in the dating
Right, exactly.
because it sucks, you know? And so you have to figure out like what you're gonna deal with. Feel like you're settling with a lot of things. And if you don't, then you'll probably be, lonely forever. So you have to decide like if this is what you want or what you're actually going to deal with and not deal with. I mean, I personally have just gotten into a point where I've just like been done, completely done. And so that's why I am where I am now. But I think before it was just literally that. It was just like you settle because you feel like there's really not much out there. And it's scary getting older, and like feeling like when is that time gonna come? Time is a factor for a lot of women too, especially if they want children. I mean, it's even getting to a point where now a lot of women don't even want kids just because of that whole male lack of masculinity. Like a lot of women are like, I don't think I want kids, because men aren't really being men. The world sucks too, so that's another thing. But those like the two main things why a lot of women are saying like they don't want children. For me, I just like I keep looking, like I said, I keep looking at my dad, as like a role model for like a masculine man is supposed to be. And it's like that is like what I feel like men should strive to be. Because again, like you just said, men can do things that women can't, and women can do things that men can't. I mean, and these roles were made for a reason. It wasn't like, these roles just like magically appeared. It's literally written in our DNA. Like literally. So, and I think there's this big disconnect as well because it's like you can't also for a woman be like, I want to be in my feminine energy, but then you keep choosing situations where you have to be in your masculine energy. You have to be a leader, fixer, hold everything together, provider, protector, and make sure things are done. And it's like you keep choosing that, and that's That's exactly what's gonna happen, unfortunately. So it's really a matter of like not settling. Like you just can't settle. Stay in your feminine and the real masculine will come to you, like eventually.
No, we won't.
I think eventually. It might take
Listen,
years.
listen. I am at peace. The one thing I'm not going to trade is peace for chaos. Not gonna
Mm-mm.
happen. I don't care how
But
pretty
no,
you are.
I'm not talking about the same person. I'm talking about a different one.
I got you. But the thing is that it's this right here. I think I speak for myself and most guys like me, right?
Mhm,
Meaning on that spectrum that you were just talking about where your father was and you know what I'm saying, your people in your family,
mhm,
right? The good men, the ones that's been fucked over, we're not out here looking for y'all. We're not out here looking for y'all because we don't got our heart broke. Because we went all in thinking that you gonna be the one. And then you turned out to be like everything else that's been
mhm.
advertised on the internet. You false advertise your ass off to me. Here I am giving you, I'm just telling you from experience, right? So now I'm sitting back and it's like, especially if a woman has children, I don't want to go too far into this right here, but I'm looking at it like this right here. If I'm sitting here at the house, I only got about one motherfucking meal. That's it. I just got to feed me. If I deal with you and your children, well, now I got to feed you and all your children, depending on how many you got. Every time we go somewhere, because you always looking at me to pay. You the man. You're supposed to do that. And if you're making it and you can do it, you know what I'm saying? At first, it doesn't bother you. But after a while, you just became another bill to me. All right. You really just became another bill. And then you come in with attitude. And I can sit over here in solitude and be happy and save my money. I'm just being honest with you. This is the reason why I don't jump into that dating pool. Another reason number two is that you find that one, that person, right? And she checks a lot of the boxes off. She a go-getter, got her own job, own car, all that. Good money. You know what I'm saying? But that's the one that wants to compete with you. She wants to compare. As opposed to building together, you want to make this shit a competition between us. I'm not trying to compete with you because I make good money. I drive a nice car, got property. You know what I'm saying? So everything you got, I got too. We should be able to take this stuff and be talking about eventually one day, perhaps combining, or if not combining what we've had apart, because you'll be a fool if you did that. If you got married after you already own some shit and you put a name on it, boy, you stupid. I said what I said. But if you were to take and we built something together, we built all right, I got a kingdom, you got a kingdom. All right, let's go build an empire.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's bring these two together and let's build in between these things. They don't want to do most of them. I can't say all of them, but the ones I've come across always want to compete. You
Mhm.
always want to compete. And what I realize is that y'all say y'all want that good man. You say you want that strong leader until you actually get that motherfucker standing in front of you. And then you realize that that weak ass game that you ran on everybody else don't work on him. It don't work on me. You don't know how to handle me. You used to, you not getting your way and you blow up real quick and old boy just flip the switch. You blow up at me, I stop and I look at you. I'm contemplating. Is this what
Right.
I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of the time we together? Because you just showed me a red flag. And now that you realize you don't know how to deal with me, I become the problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not dealing with that. And I'd rather be over here in my peace than to
Mhm.
be trying to make somebody happy who eventually, and I know I sound bitter, but I'm really not. I still believe in love. Eventually it'll fall, it'll come across. But like I said, she gonna basically have to fall in my fucking lap because I'm not out there looking for her right now. I'm just saying.
Well, that's what I mean by it'll eventually come. It's like, what's I feel like eventually like could be years, it could be months, it could be whatever. It's just like you probably may eventually meet that person at one point or another, That's what I was just meaning by that, I feel like too it's a matter of growth and knowing exactly what it is that you desire, what you want to sell, what you won't settle for, you have to actually have that. And that's standing on business. That's saying what I said. Like I know exactly what I want And if you cannot provide that, if we're not in alignment and we're both not like in agreement with what we're wanting, then like that just means that we're not meant to be, and it's okay. I think people feel like they have some kind of like obligation to another person just because they're with them. It's like, no, you're not obligated. I'm not obligated to stay with you. You're not obligated to stay with me. If things just aren't aligning, then guess what? They just aren't aligning. Don't try to force something that is not meant to be. Don't try to force something that is causing chaos or that is not keeping you feminine and you're feminine and masculine and you're male, masculine and you're masculine. Like, if you can't do that, you're not going to make it.
Man, say that shit. Just say it. Push it out. Say what you said. Say what you gotta say. Just say it, Arya.
Just saying. It's accountability, man. I'm just saying. Like you said, you want peace. Like, I want peace at the end of the day. I want to be empowered in my softness, and you want to be empowered in your strength. Let's do that. Let's help each other in our strengths and weaknesses and actually make some things happen. But if you feel like, oh man, you know, he's moving too slow and, he's not getting things done the way that I want it done and okay, well then stay in your feminine and help your masculine man out. Like, don't sit there and be dogging him and like, oh, you're not strong enough. Okay, well, you don't need to be with this person. You need to just go. Just go somewhere else. Do what you're gonna do. All he quits, whatever, because he doesn't need you. And at the end of the day, I feel like a man, in my opinion, a man doesn't absolutely need a woman. A man desires a woman and probably wants a woman. It's more than feeling like women like to say, "Oh, you need me. You need for what? To make a baby?" I mean, because that's really, the main thing that you can do. I mean, bringing peace into a man's life and actually having that man have peace, I feel like men that really get that will actually go above and beyond for their woman if they have real peace. I'm not talking about like just like we dangling that thing every day, shaking that thing. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about like legitimate peace. Like he feels like he can, not walk on eggshells. He can actually be vulnerable when he needs to with you, where he can't be with, the boys, where he can't be with his job, where he's probably tired and he's working overload and the boss is on him and he's got all these projects and all these things happening. And then he has to come home to you nagging.
I'll take that one a step further. Don't let me just walk through the door from coming home from work, facing traffic and all that, and then as soon as I walk in, you nagging.
Right.
Or asking me to do something as soon as I walked in. It's like, God damn, can I get 5, 10 minutes to just
Right.
unwind?
Yeah, it's that you need to have that peace. You need to have that. You need to be accountable for nurturing the relationship. You're a lot of men don't naturally have that nurturing. I feel like men are more teachers than nurturers because men can like show you how to do certain things. They teach you how to change a tire. They can teach you how to you know, do finances or whatever the case may be. But like, as far as like being that real soft person or that real nurturing person, it's like not gonna be the softest. So, and that's where I like that. I call it a part of that 80/20 rule that Steve Harvey likes to talk about. I love that the 80/20 rule. It's like when I'm at my 80 and I just need a little pep, you can be my 20, or if you are at 20, then I can be the 80 for you and like help build you up where it is in that area that you need to be, uplifted. Because let's face it, it is tiring out there, especially in the work field. Like you have to be on top of everything. Like you got your managers, you got the traffic, you got the car is acting up, you got maybe, I don't know, something broken in the house, and you got to be responsible for the warranties and whatever. All these, the list of things that you feel that you have to be the provider and protector about. So you only want someone that's going to give you that softness and that peace and that nurturing aspect. So that way you can be like, okay, at least I have this. At least I have my peace and my calmness and my woman and the support of my woman. The rest of the world is giving me chaos.
So the segment is called I Said What I Said. So I'm gonna say what I gotta goddamn say. And it's as simple as this right here. At this big age, we ain't doing no builder. Insert whatever you want to put in there. All right. At this big age,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have your shit together. You really do. And if you don't, and I'm talking to the men right now, if you ain't got your shit together by the age of, we're gonna say 36, if you don't have your shit together by then, you need to reevaluate your life. Like dead ass. What did I do wrong? Why am I not where I thought I would be at this age? Or maybe you are exactly where you thought you would be. And if that is the case, ladies, leave that motherfucker alone. Leave him exactly where he is. He has peaked in high school. Fuck him. Kick him to the curb. He's not trying to do anything. If he's not trying to get better, don't stay with him. Why do y'all settle for men like that? That's what I never did understand. I've seen some of the baddest women settle for a dude that ain't shit. Can never understand that. It's like, what is it? Is it fast money? Or is it just the way that it's the toxic love, the part that you can control him? I mean, what is it? What is it? I mean, I'm just being honest. Can you fill me in on this?
For me, like I had to realize like I don't know, I wasn't like naturally in this way or in this situation. I feel like I was respond to what I actually have. Cause it's funny because I just had this conversation yesterday. Men, for some reason, they are able to, how do I say this in a I'm just not saying it. They are able to lie a lot. Sometimes they have a lot of practice with lying and creating a story at the beginning. Because if you think about it, like, and this is exactly what was saying yesterday. Like, there are there are women who are in like these relationships with these feminine men. They have lack of character. They are wife abusers, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, all these different things
Financially.
and like all these areas, and they don't immediately show you that because if they immediately show you that, women are not going to go for that. You have to play the role. You have to play like this is my position, Now, unless you're just trying to hit it and quit it. Usually men like that, you already know. You know that up front. It's no secret. A
No,
lot of
you
men who are like that, they're honest. They're honest up front. But if you're not honest and you're actually trying to go fishing, because men are hunters. That's what they are. Men are hunters. And so because of that, you get this person, you have to play the role. You have to play the part. Just like any other being that comes into your life after some time, once they got you, they can be comfortable and they can relax. And with that comfortability and relaxation, that's when you figure out exactly who they really are. And that's when they become like these abusers.
bless you.
Thank you. So that's, thank you. So that's when they become these abusers. They end up trapping the woman, and the woman has to be strong enough to be able to see these things, address these things, and get herself out. But a lot of times, because I don't like to call women weak, but women can be soft. And because of the ones they actually do desire, like a real love, a real relationship, and all these things like that, they just stick with it in hopes of, okay, he apologized. Okay, he said he's sorry. Okay, he said he'll do better. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, we said this, he said that. Like with no action, with zero action. And you're waiting and waiting and waiting until you have to be put in a position where you're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like even for me, like responding to the relationship that I was in and trying to figure out like what in the world have I gotten myself into? Like once I saw that, I had to ask myself, am I going to keep living like this? Like, or am I going to stand on what I said? And unfortunately, it took a while. It took years actually for me to really, really stand on it because I made steps, but I kept regressing due to that nurturing part of me and wanting to build on something that I had been building on for years. Time is a factor too for a lot of women, I feel like. I mean, first of all, women are natural hoarders. That's for one. Naturally possessive. That's for two. Women like want things and like to have ownership of things and like to build on things and they don't like to really just let things go. And I think relationships are no different. It's like, man, I've invested so much time and so much energy and I've been like building this person up and like I've been helping this person get all these different things like that build a bear. And this project of mine is my project. It reminds me of that movie. I don't know the name of it, but there's this movie with Taraji and like she was with her husband who kept wanting to build this like computer
Battery. The
that
battery.
and okay, so you know what movie I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And so he just kept talking about doing it and talking about doing it. He just would not get it done. And as soon as she's like, you know what, I'm done, had enough. I've been trying and trying. As soon as she finally gives up, then like he gets an opportunity where he actually becomes successful. And for her, it was like I helped you to build this. I helped you do this. I invested into you and all these different things, and now you're giving it to somebody else. And it's like, girl, hold up. That possessiveness, and I think it ultimately boils down to just really putting yourself in a position where you have to say no sometimes, and not be so possessive and not want to hold on things that's not worth holding on to and understanding that if things turn around for the other person that you still don't want to go and revert back to that relationship. I mean, look at what happened to her at the end of the movie, you know. Was it worth it?
I mean, he gave her 10 million though. He gave her 10 million.
You're right,
He
because
gave.
he didn't have to do that.
He did not.
He did not have to do that, but sometimes it's not even that simple. Sometimes it can be, something worse because it could be that person didn't provide or give you anything back. But you need to be okay with not being possessive and letting things go that are not good for you. If you feel like this is hurting you and hindering you, no matter what the outcome is by losing this person, you need to be okay with that situation. And I feel like a lot of women just aren't. I mean, but then again, a lot of men aren't either. Some men are very possessive. And look at dare I say, the, how do I say it, the X factor of women and men going out, because they're like, you know what? I can't have them. Nobody can have them. And
Right.
that's just how it's going to be.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. It's like what I wanted to come in and say was like your kindness does not make you a weakness. What makes you a weakness, what makes your weakness basically is the fact that you keep giving your love to somebody else and not yourself. Stand your ground, stand your boundaries, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But it's like I just want to say this because if you are in a abusive relationship, I can understand if you feel like there's no way out and things of that nature. But if you actually can leave, you got people that you can lean on, get out.
Mhm.
Do not be loved to death. Don't
Mhm.
end up on somebody's, yeah, don't do that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Just like get out. Because if you
Mhm.
keep staying because of the money or because of whatever little small thing that you are getting, you are weak.
Yeah.
You're weak and you're just riding on somebody else's coattails. Stand on your own 2 feet.
Mhm.
Take pride in yourself. Say, I can go do this
Right.
and go do it.
That sounds
Right.
like fear.
Right. That fear is a mug, ain't it?
Yeah.
It
I
will
mean,
hold you.
fear is dangerous, you know? Fear can make you start thinking things, seeing things that probably aren't even there, you know? You have, unrealistic fears, like my fear was, I would say my fear was being alone. That was a big fear of mine, being alone, like not being able to, find someone else until I was just like, I realized like I have to be happy with myself. I got to be happy by myself. because then if I'm happy with myself and by myself, then like the next person that comes in my life, they just add. They can't take away because at the end I'll be okay. That fear of losing someone, and then not standing on what you said, that's just why is that fear of conflict? Are you afraid that if you stand on business and you stand on what you said, that there's going to be conflict? Because at the end of the day, guess what? There will be. People are not going to like it. People are not going to like it, and it's okay. So don't have that fear of conflict. You fear, just allow the conflict to be because guess what? You don't have to participate in the conflict.
That I
let them
was
let them have conflict by themselves, okay?
walk away. You don't have to say a word. You don't owe them
Correct.
no explanation.
At
Man, fuck
all.
your feelings. Like, keep
Exactly.
it.
There's nothing worse than losing yourself. You can lose them, you know. If that's what it takes and that's what they need, okay. Right? But don't lose yourself in the process. Make yourself the priority. When you stand on what you said, saying, okay, I said what I said. This is just how I feel. No explanation needed. Period, point blank. Okay, sign that on the dotted line. Everybody else can keep it moving. You can keep walking down that memory lane. You can have that conflict by yourself. You can have those issues by yourself. And I don't have to deal with it, because at the end, it's my responsibility to care for myself and it's my responsibility to care for my mental health, you know, and nobody else is gonna care for that. If it's up to someone else, they will bash you in the head with it. They will try to make you feel bad for it. They will, try to pull out their handy dandy notebook to make notes on why you are doing what you're doing and how it's wrong. It's not benefiting them. Because remember, it has to benefit them, not you.
You don't owe anybody an explanation for how you move, what you do, what you say. You
Mhm.
don't. And if
Right.
they feel like you do, ask yourself this question: why? Do they feel like they have that type of control over me that I owe them an answer or an explanation for something that I did? I don't owe you that. I don't owe you anything, to be honest. You know, and again, you just gotta decide to choose self.
Yeah. And not you don't even, and I think one of the things with me too is that I know that I'm a soft person. Like I don't like conflict, but one of the things that I've kind of like separated. Like I can be like, I said what I said without being super disrespectful. I don't have to actually curse you out or anything like that. But what I will do is still say my tone, keep my tone versus my truth and be like, I don't want your energy. So this is what it is. No, not doing that. Why? You figure it out. You figure it out because it's not up to me to explain to you anything. I'm not committed to you. You are not someone that I have to put first. I put myself first. And if it's not something that I want to do or something that I'm empowered to do, then I don't have to do that. And I need to make my decision firm. And it's okay. People think you can't be kind and firm at the same time. They think like being firm means you're automatically mean. That's just their feeling. They're projecting, first of all. So if I'm firm to you and I'm telling you that this is what it is, you just have to respect that. You don't. But they ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm feeling compelled to say, know your environment
Oh yeah.
when you are standing firm on how you feel. Understand your environment because if you know that the person that you standing in front of, that you being firm with, is a short fuse, wait till you get to a safer distance before you light that fuse. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I feel compelled to say that because if you know the individual and you know they have been known to snap off and go off
Mhm.
the deep end, see red and black out, and don't know what they're doing, or so they claim, stay away from 'em while you say what you got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like there's just times where you have to, definitely read the room. But I feel like as long as you or being yourself and understanding like 'cause everything obviously has a pro and a con. You know, every decision you make, every choice that you have, there's a pro and a con to it. There is a consequence. So have you. I always tell my kids, you know, there's consequences to everything. A consequence doesn't mean that it's bad. Consequences can be good. There could be a good reason that you just didn't do this event or whatever, or that you're saying no to participating in this, you know, whatever it will be. Those consequences are the consequences that you have chosen, and just be okay with that. You don't worry about what they're saying or what they're thinking or how, because as long as you feel okay and confident with your decisions and really saying what you're saying, then in the end, the only person that you have to worry about is you. That's it. About yourself, worry about yourself.
Man, get it done, Dave. You got anything else you want to add to this one?
Say if you are not good with standing on your boundaries and saying what you're saying and actually standing on it and meaning it, I would just say practice it. Practice it, you know, just practice saying no. Like I was saying at the beginning, like even if there's things that you really want to do, sometimes just saying no to those things so you can at least see what it feels like, you know, to actually get yourself in a position to saying no. People inviting you to things, just say no. Even if it sounds like it's fun, just say no. If you want to, go by yourself. Don't go with them. Be like, oh, yeah, that does sound like a good idea. That sounds like something fun. Sounds like something interesting. But you don't have to go with that person. You can go by yourself.
Right.
It's just practicing saying no, I think is important so that way you can stop having people so heavily relying on you. That's something that I'm looking at in even in myself, it's just like, yeah, you gotta say no. I'm not gonna do everything. And
Right.
I think that'll be healthy because people will have a balance there because they'll be like, oh well, if they say yeah, that's cool. But if they say no, it's not a big shocker. I think when you say yes all the time and then all of a sudden you say no, it's a huge shock to them. And so that's when they start making you feel bad about your boundaries and you standing on what you believe in.
That's when they start gaslighting.
Oh,
Say it how it
yeah.
is. Say
That
it what I said.
is true. It's so true. That's so true. Gaslighting. Oh gosh.
And I'm gonna make you feel bad about
Make you feel
saying no
bad.
to me. I'm not.
You saying no to me?
Yeah. Listen. All right. These are the things that I've heard from a couple different women, and my answer is always the same to them. Oh, I didn't realize I was so easy to walk away from.
Mm,
Well, now you know. I'm not gonna sit up here and argue and fight with you. I'm
yeah,
not. So that clearly tells me something about certain mentalities, but we can go back into that later. But it's just like, if you feel like you are that important, what make you feel like you're that important to me?
absolutely. That's real. That's so real.
Capo?
Not Hoppo.
Who the fuck this is? You know what I'm
Hoppo.
saying? I'm not. It's just not. You're not that important to me. And I'm sorry, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you know what I'm saying, if you are, and you know what I'm saying, like we have this certain bond, there's a bond
Right.
between us, but at the same time, there are also boundaries between us.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you my partner, I got you. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I need my space. It's not personal. I just need my space. I need my me time. And just say it however you gotta say it. But, tone makes a big difference in how we actually deliver, how messages
Mhm.
get received.
Yeah,
Tone makes a big difference. So, I'm gonna leave it at that.
that's good.
All right, you ready to wrap up?
Yep.
Been another episode of All in One. Hope you guys got something from this one here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to check out some of the other videos that we do have. We also have other things going on, such as that the artistry web
The Arya
web
artistry.
Aria artist. I just be wanting you to say it. You know that, right?
I know, I know.
Make sure you check out the websites. Make sure you check out the links in the description that we have below. We're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, y'all, we're all in.